going to go on team development. And we're going to talk about how you can use assessment as a way to help your athletes get better, as a way to help your whole program get better, and as a way to increase team performance. And hopefully give you some examples of some things you can take back to your program and use to help everything get better where you're from. So we're going to go ahead and get started. My background is I have a degree in behavioral science and a degree in education. And I've been with the NWBA, started a program in Arkansas in 1992, so going on 20 years that I've been involved in wheelchair basketball. I've been at UTA since 2007, and when I came to UTA, I worked with Coach Hayes, and I worked in the Department of Education to get a second master's degree in curriculum and instruction, and the program there allowed me to work with gifted and talented, and talent identification and talent development in sports. So the school curriculum was on gifted and talented in the classroom, and they allowed me to take that and extend it a little bit further into the sports world. So it was a lot of fun. Assessment basically is a process of measurement about collecting information conducted to improve the educational program. And as a coach, that's what you are. You're a teacher. You're a teacher first. And in the NWBA, a lot of our programs started with parents and therapists and interested parties who wanted to help get the program started, but they really don't have a whole lot of background in education or education theory, so there's going to be a little bit of theory in this, mostly to help you understand where we're coming from and trying to use assessment as a tool. Assessment is a way you can demonstrate your program effectiveness, and assessment is focused on student learning and development outcomes. And I think that's key, is development outcomes, and hopefully we'll give you some ideas that you can use to help decide what development outcomes you want to do. You can have formal assessment and you can have informal assessment, and everybody does assessment, and really one of the most basic tools of assessment that we all use as coaches is what's the score of the game. That's a very informal way of assessing how well your team's doing. So you all use assessment, and hopefully this will help you be able to use assessment a little bit better. Why is it important? First, it helps you identify areas of improvement for your program. If you use assessment, you can find out, what do we need to work on? We need to work on shooting. We need to work on different parts of defense. What skill sets do we need to be developing in our team and our athletes to help them be better in different areas? Strength and conditioning. A lot of ways you can use assessment for improvement. Show your developers the impact the program has on students. And this is key, especially when there's limited funding out there. You can use assessment. We use it at the university to sell the benefits of our program. And that's one way that it's very important for you to go to sponsors and say, look, this is what we've done. Here's some methods that we've measured the effectiveness of our program. Provide parents with evidence the value the program has for your child. Obviously, in the world of disability sport, there's limited options out there, and so most parents and kids are super excited to be out there. But again, in the economic times, this shows why it's important for parents to invest in travel or invest in the time to bring their kids to practice. Gives athlete evidence of personal development, and this is key. This is motivation. This is what keeps kids coming back, when they can see that they're getting better. It keeps your athletes coming back and working hard. So you can use assessment as a way to goal set and help your athletes stay motivated. Need program reporting. If you get grants, assessment is a great tool to help you show the people that are supporting your program with grants, hey, this is what you're investing in. If you're with an educational association or a crediting agency, they're going to expect you to do some type of investment to show the value of their investment, and it gives you a diagnostic tool for going back and measuring the direction that your program is going. So, getting started, you want to choose what to assess. At UTA, and I was talking to Mike, most of the collegiate programs do strength and conditioning assessment, so you can tell that your athletes are not only doing what they need to be doing to get stronger, but also it shows them how the conditioning program is helping them be a better athlete. Sports is specific fitness, speed, agility. One thing we do is we measure against other teams. How are we measuring up in speed and agility? Are we the first ones down the court? Are we able to press? So that's another thing that you can measure. The knowledge of the game. We use a rubric, and we do one-on-one evaluations with our athletes. And like I said, they do the same thing. We use a rubric to measure, okay, this is where you are in your comprehension of the game, and your knowledge of the game. A lot of times, we expect our athletes to be doing something, and they don't do it. And I've seen coaches who just get pretty upset if an athlete doesn't do something. And the first question you got to ask is, did they know to do that? And so we use educational domains. This is from the cognitive domain. Do they know what to do? And with junior athletes coming to college programs, that's a big question. Sometimes we assume they know what to do, but you can actually measure it and sit down with them and use a rubric to say, do you know what to look for when you're setting up a pick? Sport-specific skills, you can use rubrics to help drive the direction of your sport-specific skill development. Sport-specific applications on your number situations, your 3-on-2, your 4-on-3. How successful are you in running a number situation or a transition situation? Defensive stops, team scoring, offensive rebounds. Those are different things that you can choose to assess. Or your program, your grant funding, your sponsorship, your number of athletes participating, your graduation rates. All these are tools that you might want to assess. Okay, so you pick something to assess. You want to know, why do I want to assess this? Why do you want to know your graduation rate of your high school athletes? Well, that's a great selling tool. So figure out why you want. Why do you want to measure max bench press or chin-ups? Why is that important in developing your athletes? So have a philosophical foundation of why you want to measure something. Otherwise, it's not very helpful if you don't know why you want to measure. So you pick something that you want to measure, and then you got to decide how you want to measure it and what you're going to do with that. Okay, a little bit of theory here when you're looking at making the corrections in your assessment cycle. The rubric on the top left is the cognitive domain. So you want to look at, okay, do they know what to do in this situation? Maybe you're looking at 3-on-2 number situation. Do they know what to do? If they keep doing the same thing, if the results aren't getting better, maybe they don't know what they're supposed to be doing on the floor. And then do they understand and can they apply that to the situations you're talking about? They might be fast, they might be quick, they might be a good shooter, but they can't apply it to the situation you want it applied to, a 3-on-2 or a 2-on-1, then it's not going to get any better. And the thing about these taxonomies is they start at the bottom, and if they don't master what's needed at the bottom, and knowledge in this case, if they don't know, they're never going to get to the higher levels, where at the top where they can evaluate their own performance and make adjustments based on their own evaluation. So start at the bottom. I tell you, as coaches, go and do a little bit of reading on these taxonomies. They'll help you be a better coach because they'll help you understand how to take your athletes from the very beginning of, and that one, the cognitive domain, knowing what to do on the floor, up through the evaluation stage where they're on the floor and they can actually make adjustments based on what they know about the game of which they're basketball. And part of our rubrics, our one-on-one rubrics, and I know for Farley too, is you talk through this with your athletes and you ask them, what are the non-verbal cues you're looking for in a 3-on-2 situation? What are the communication tools that you're using and skills that you're using with your teammates?